Picture this. You're about to give a presentation at work, and suddenly a voice in your head whispers, "You're going to embarrass yourself. Everyone will see you're a fraud." Or maybe you're considering asking someone out, and that same voice chimes in, "They're way out of your league. Why even try?" That voice? It's not trying to protect you. It's a 50,000-year-old security system that's catastrophically bad at its job in the modern world. Today, we're going to debug your brain. Your inner critic isn't some mysterious psychological phenomenon, it's evolution's over-enthusiastic security guard. And like most security guards, it's paranoid, sees threats everywhere, and has zero sense of proportionality. Back when our ancestors lived in small tribes on the African savanna, social rejection wasn't just emotionally painful, it was often a death sentence. Get kicked out of the group? Good luck surviving alone with nothing but a pointy stick and your wits. So our brains developed this hypervigilant system that constantly scanned for any behavior that might threaten our social standing. The problem is, this system was calibrated for a world where messing up meant potentially becoming leopard food. It wasn't designed for a world where messing up means, well, slightly awkward small talk at a coffee shop. Here's where it gets interesting. Our brains have what psychologists call a negativity bias. We're wired to pay more attention to negative experiences than positive ones. One study found that it takes 5 positive interactions to psychologically balance out a single negative one. Why? Because in the ancestral environment, missing a positive opportunity was unfortunate, but missing a threat was fatal. The caveman who ignored the rustling bush because he was focused on pretty flowers didn't get to pass on his genes. But the one who assumed every rustling bush contained a predator? He lived to be paranoid another day. So your brain evolved to be a master at spotting problems and terrible at appreciating good things. It's like having a smoke detector that goes off every time you make toast, but stays silent during an actual fire. But here's where the evolutionary bug really shows itself. Your inner critic doesn't just worry about physical survival, it obsesses over social status. And in our modern world, this creates some truly bizarre scenarios. Your brain still operates on the assumption that your tribe has maybe 150 people in it. That's Dunbar's number, the cognitive limit of stable social relationships humans can maintain. But now you're potentially being judged by millions of people online. Your Stone Age brain is trying to manage a digital age social environment, and it's having a complete meltdown. So when you post something on social media and it doesn't get many likes, your inner critic doesn't think, "Oh, well, the algorithm wasn't in my favor today." It thinks, "The tribe is rejecting me. I must be worthless. Time to go hide in a cave." Here's the really twisted part. Your inner critic often gets louder when things are going well. You'd think it would calm down when you're successful, right? Wrong. Success, from your brain's ancient perspective, is actually dangerous. It makes you visible. It puts a target on your back. In tribal societies, anyone who got too successful too quickly might face resentment, envy, or even violence from others. So when you start doing well, your inner critic panics and starts sabotaging you. "Don't get too confident," it whispers. People are starting to notice you. Better play small before they knock you down. This is why so many successful people struggle with imposter syndrome. Their inner critic is literally trying to keep them safe by convincing them they don't deserve their success. It's like having a bodyguard who protects you by punching you in the face. Social media has turned the inner critic into a 24/7 torture device. Your brain evolved to compare you to the 20 or 30 people you actually knew. Now it's comparing you to the highlight reels of billions of people, selected and curated to show only their best moments. Your inner critic sees someone's perfect vacation photos and thinks, "Why isn't our life that exciting?" It sees someone's career achievement and thinks, "Everyone else is more successful than us." It's like comparing your behind-the-scenes footage to everyone else's movie trailer. But here's what's fascinating. Your inner critic isn't actually comparing you to other people. It's comparing you to an impossible ideal that doesn't exist, a composite of everyone else's best moments that no single person could ever achieve. The inner critic's favorite weapon is perfectionism. And perfectionism isn't about having high standards, it's about having impossible ones. Your brain thinks that if you can just be perfect enough, you'll be safe from criticism, rejection, and failure. But perfectionism is actually a form of procrastination in disguise. If nothing you do can ever be good enough, then why start at all? It's like your inner critic is saying, you know what would be really safe? Never trying anything ever again. Can't fail if you don't play, right? This is why perfectionists often struggle with paralysis. They're not trying to create something amazing, they're trying to create something unattackable. And unattackable usually means invisible. So how do you debug a 50,000-year-old operating system that's running on outdated software? First, recognize that your inner critic isn't you, it's a program. When that voice starts up, you can literally say, "Thanks for the input, ancient security system, but I've got this." You're not trying to eliminate the voice. That's impossible. You're just updating its job description. Second, understand the difference between real threats and phantom threats. Is someone actually trying to harm you? Or is your brain just catastrophizing about a worst-case scenario that has a 0.001% chance of happening? Third, remember that your brain is optimizing for a world that no longer exists. Social rejection today might be embarrassing, but it's not fatal. Taking risks and failing might be uncomfortable, but it won't get you eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. Here's the ultimate irony. The behaviors your inner critic is trying to prevent, taking risks, being visible, pursuing success, putting yourself out there, these are actually the behaviors that lead to the social connection and security it's trying to protect. The people who are most socially successful aren't the ones who play it safe and hide. They're the ones who are willing to be vulnerable, to fail publicly, to put themselves out there despite the risk of rejection. Your inner critic is like a GPS that's 50,000 years out of date, still trying to navigate by landmarks that disappeared eons ago. It's time for an update. Your inner critic isn't your enemy. It's a well-meaning but outdated piece of psychological software that needs a serious patch. It evolved to keep you alive in a world of immediate physical threats and small social groups. But we now live in a world of abstract challenges and global connection. The next time that voice pipes up to tell you you're not good enough, smart enough, or ready enough, remember, you're not hearing the voice of truth. You're hearing the voice of a paranoid security system that thinks it's still the year 50,000 BCE. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to politely tell that ancient alarm system to take a coffee break while you get on with the business of being brilliantly, imperfectly, courageously human. After all, what's the worst that could happen? You might just surprise yourself.